Ho ho, halo. Halo, ain't got a rocket from my blood. This is Greg Allison with Galactic Gregs, coming to you from an undisclosed location, somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy. And yes, those are real rocket engine parts behind me in the case. So, what I'm going to talk about today is a very interesting anomaly. I got this hat from a good friend of mine, Rex Bear. This hat is a Marty McFly edition of his tinfoil caps. And it's kind of interesting that this is what he gave me, because I got this the day after we had just walked through a tunnel near the Griffith Observatory, where in fact a scene was filmed for Back to the Future 2 where Marty McFly was rescued by the Doc Brown character played by Christopher Lloyd. And what's interesting about this is we had a very strange anomaly occur in that tunnel that I thought you might want to look at and try to evaluate, because it is really strange. A little bit off topic for this channel, but it is an anomaly, and let's see who can take a crack at it. For what happened is, we're walking in this tunnel. I'm explaining the scene of the movie to Rex Bear because I thought it was highly interesting, and he's walking through the tunnel. He's chanting, "Hugh." I later asked him, "Rex, why are you saying Hugh?" And he said, "Well, it's a chant kind of like Om." I said, "Well, you know, it's kind of curious because that happens to be my middle name." But the most interesting thing that happened is I started singing this little song I created back in the days when I had the High Altitude Liftoff program called Halo. And it's kind of a calypso, Deo type song. Halo, hang a rocket from a balloon and off we go. And I belted it out rather loudly, as I can do with the pipes that I have, which is the normal fashion, the best way to actually sing that ditty. And something strange happened. As I said and belted out, halo, light emanated going down the tunnel from my voice. And what's interesting is it was modulated. You could see like compression waves, and it was modulated like the voice. But it went down the tunnel. And what you can see in that video is it's not a reflection, because it's not just off the wall. You can see it over the curb and onto the pavement of the floor below. And if it were just refracted light, how come it did not get dimmer? We're in a desert, so it couldn't have been just a modulation of fog. What was the light that emanated from my voice? There is a curiosity. There's an anomaly for you to figure out. And the odd thing was, Rex and I were actually there with some other guys to evaluate weird, anomalous videos and things like that. And I'll release a video on what that was all about very soon. But most curious situation, and to make it even more curious, is that he had this McFly hat to give me already. Now, you talk about weird synchronicity. That is highly interesting. This was not staged. It just happened. It all happened on the fly, if you will, because he and I had a break from some of the filming we were doing for this other production, and so we ran up there because they didn't have their cameras right and they had some lighting issues. So we just ran up there to see that place. I just suggested to him earlier it'd be a great place to go see. And I also did some video from my Green Greg's channel talking about LA apocalypse from near the observatory. Look at Green Greg's channel and you can see that, where I'm talking about things that could go wrong. But now I'm going to show you my video from my camera, but the most interesting video was from Rex Bear's camera. He has a higher resolution camera. He got a much better video of that. And then he later did another video replaying it, in which he slowed it down to look at and analyze it. Really strange. So I'm going to show you this video that I filmed. Go check out his channel for the high resolution video and his slowdown. Really strange video. We were just cutting up, having some fun, but we were there to analyze strange, anomalous things we generated our own. That was what was really interesting. Now, you might try to explain this way easily, but it may not be so easy to explain. Nevertheless, it's interesting. Look at it, have fun, tell me what you think, comment below. I'm not making any claims, I'm just telling you it's interesting. Thank you for watching. Hello, ain't got a rocket from my blood.
Rocketry, essentially. So we're out here in the California area outside of LA, kind of close to Hollywood, and this is the tunnel that in Back to the Future. Now I'm going to have you explain what happened. Back to the Future.
In Back to the Future, at this tunnel, at the far end, I think it's far, it could be this end, but one of the ends coming out of it is where they had the scene where Marty McFly was rescued by Doc Brown. And Doc Brown flew over in the DeLorean and lowered a rope.
Lowered a rope?
Yeah. And Marty McFly came up the rope.
So, what now? Please continue.
So what happened here is they had the scene where Biff was after Marty McFly, and they had their little incident at one end of this tunnel, and it was the case where the Marty was in a real tight. Biff was about to get him. Doc Brown came over the DeLorean right at the edge of the tunnel and dropped the line down. Marty grabbed the line and was hoisted away to being saved by Doc Brown. And it's also one of those cases where, as usual in the Back to the Future series, every time Biff finally got defeated, he ran into a pile of manure or something like that. And his car would get filled with a load of manure. So, of course, that happened again.
There's a lot of symbolism in Back to the Future.
Yeah, and a lot of things that happen the same way every time, that being one of them. And some people think the symbolism that has been characteristic of the guy who played Doc Brown as Lloyd. But he's played a lot of roles that a lot of people think were kind of messianic. And some people claim that his rescue of Marty McFly fit that description. He's also had a role where he was a voice part of a cartoon based out of this Griffith Observatory. So it's kind of interesting what they deal with that character. Christopher Lloyd, the guy who played Doc Brown, Emmett Brown.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah, we might need a DeLorean to rescue us going through this tunnel, Rex.
Yeah, we'll need a DeLorean to rescue us.
Flying DeLorean. Hello, ain't got a rocket from a balloon, and off we go.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. We're going to fly a rocket into space. We're going to begin an amateur space race. Hello. Ain't got a rocket from a balloon and off we go. Na 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 na. Woo! Got a good echo here. Look at Rex disappear. He's gone to the other side. Bye-bye, Rex.
Nice. Nice. This is cool.
Ho, 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 ho. Hey, that echoes well. It's swell. They had gates on both sides at one time, Rex.
Anomaly officially coming out of the tunnel. A famous Anunnaki. Greg Allison. Record holder. And cool dude.
Hello. Ain't got a rocket from a balloon. Thank you for watching. Happy holidays, happy Yuletide, and Merry Christmas.